ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अष्टत्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतिरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिनि नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। Okay, so this is the most critical chapter helping us understand the confidential reasons for appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mula Shlokera. Okay, now Raskaviraj Goswami is saying Chaturtha Shlokera Artha Kaila Vivarana Panchama Shlokera Artha Shuna Bhakta Gana. So in the third chapter he has uh, explained the fourth verse. Now the fifth verse. मूल श्लोकेरा अर्थ करिते प्रकाश अर्थ लगाइते आगे कहिए आभासा. And just to explain the original verse, I shall first suggest its meaning. चतुर्थ श्लोकेर अर्थ एकैल सार प्रेम नाम प्रचारिते अवतार. I have given the essential meaning of the fourth verse. The incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends to propagate the chanting of the holy name and spread love of God. This was the fourth verse. This was the external reason, right? Is to propagate chanting and spread love of God, which is from our perspective the most important, but this is only just the external reason. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he came and gave us love of Krishna, chanting of Hare Krishna and love of Krishna. But that's just not the reason, right? It's just the external reason. Satya hai hetu किंतु एहो बहिरंग आर एक हेतु शुना आचे अंतरंग. Satya ye Satya, this is true. Hetu, this is true, but it's kintu eho bahiranga. This is just an external reason. Ara eka hetu, there's one more. Shuna ache antaranga. Please hear that reason, which is a confidential reason for the Lord's appearance. Purvena prithivira bhara hari bhare Krishna avatirna haila shastre te prachare. Scriptures proclaim that Lord Krishna previously descended to take away the burden of the earth. Prithivira bhara hari bhare. स्वयं भगवानेर कर्म नाहे भारे हरण तिथि कर्ता विष्णु करेना जगत पालना. This is very very important. स्वयं भगवानेर कर्म नाहे. Sway, it's not the work. His bhara harana work is not the karma, is not the work of Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna. Sthita karta, maintainer, Vishnu karena jagata palana. So the maintenance work is done by the Sthita karta, maintainer. The protection of the universe, maintenance of the universe is done by Vishnu. So bhara harana, Krishna doesn't come for bhara harana. किंतु कृष्णेराय हय अवतार काला भार हरण काला ताते हैला मिसा मिशाल. But the time to lift the burden of the world mixed with the time for Lord Krishna's incarnation. So both the time came together. That is the time to lift the burden. Meaning one some yoga avatara of Vishnu had to come to do the Bharaharana, but along with that, time for Lord Krishna's incarnation, which we discussed, right? Once in a day of Brahma, 7th Manu, 28th Dwapar Yuga, right? So he appears at that time. So both these coincided. Hmm. Time to lift the burden and as well as time for Krishna's appearance, both came together. Hmm. पूर्ण भगवान अवतारे एक काले आर सब अवतार तांते आशी मिले. When the complete supreme personality of Godhead, Purna Bhagavan, Krishna is Purna Bhagavan, descends all other incarnations, Ara Sabha Avatara, Tante in him, Ashi Mile, they come and meet. So all other incarnations meet together within him. नारायण चतुर्व्यूह मत्स्यादि अवतार युग मन्वंतरावतार यत आचे आर सबे आशी कृष्ण अंगे होय अवतीर्ण ऐचे अवतरे कृष्ण भगवान पूर्ण. Lord Narayana, the four primary expansions, Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Matsya, and other Leela incarnations, Yugavataras, Manvantara avatars, as many and as many other avatars as there are, meaning all avatars, whatever incarnations are there, all descend in the body of Lord Krishna. In this way, the complete Supreme Godhead, Purna Bhagavan Krishna, appears. This Purna Bhagavan, full, complete. Because when we call partial expansions, so they are not complete. So he is Purna. Ataeva Vishnu Katakana Krishnera Sharire Vishnu Dware Kare Krishna Asura Samhare. At that time, therefore, Lord Vishnu is present in the body of Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna kills the demons through him. So whenever Lord Krishna kills the demons, it's through Vishnu. He is not engaged in any killing business. He is just engaging in enjoying business. That is Krishna. No work. There's no work for him. But still, in Bhagavad Gita says that there is work for me, and if I don't do, the whole world will be destroyed. But that work is the work of Vishnu, not of Swayam Bhagavan. So this tattva we have to understand. This is the glory of Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan. So he doesn't have any obligation. He doesn't appear to fulfill any obligation. He doesn't have any obligations to fulfill. It's just by his will he'll appear, and whenever he wants, he will disappear. Nobody can force anything onto him. Anusanga karma e asura marana e lagi avatar kahi se mula karana. Thus the killing of the demons is but secondary work. I shall now speak of the main reason for the Lord's incarnation, the most valuable set of verses. Now, Prema rasa niryasa karite aswadana raga marga bhakti loke karite pracharana. Dasika shekhara Krishna parama karuna ei dui hetu haite ichara udgama. Prema rasa niryasa. Prema rasa, love of God. Niryasa means essence. Karite aswadana, to taste. The Lord's desire to appear. Yeah, here it says Ichara Udgama. So there is a desire. There is the birth of a desire in Krishna. See, that is why when we start talking about Vrindavan pastimes and Swayam Krishna's pastimes, right, there is no question of that Atma Rama. So no question of Atma Rama in this Leela, in Krishna's Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna's Leela. So there is desire. He is not self-satisfied. So there is a desire which is born now. For two reasons. Dui hetu, two reasons. Hoite. This vichara udgama happened. And the appearance of this or birth of this desire happened. What? First one, Lord wanted to taste the sweet essence of the mellows of love of God. This is the first one. Prema rasa niryasa karite aswadana. He wanted to taste the sweet essence of the love of God. Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharan. And he wanted to propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. Raga Marga Bhakti. To do the prachar of Raga Marga Bhakti. Hmm. Thus he is known as supremely jubilant. Rasika Shekara. He is Rasika Shekara and he is Paramakaruna. So Krishna is also Paramakaruna. Though he's when he appears, opera, then Bhagavad Gita says he is very strict instructions. But all that is because he is merciful, most merciful. And so there are two reasons for which the Lord's desire to appear, because of two reasons. First is Prema Rasa Niryasa Karite Aswadana, to taste the sweet essence of Prema Rasa, and Raga Marga Bhakti Loke Karite Pracharana, to teach the world Raga Marga, or to propagate in the world Raga Marga. Aishwarya Gnanete Saba Jagatam Shrita Aishwarya Shitila Preme Nahi Mora Prita. This already Krishna told, previous chapter. Again, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is re-emphasizing this. Aishwarya Gnanete Saba Jagata Mishrita. The whole universe is filled with this conception of Aishwarya, my majesty, my opulence. Mishrita, it's mixed. Huh. Aishwarya Shitila Prema, Shitila, which is weakened. Weakened by this Aishwarya, that Prema, Nahi Mora Prita, I doesn't give pleasure to me. It's not very dear to me. Does not satisfy me. So the whole world is engaging in this Vidhi Bhakti, which is Aishwarya Gnana, in the mood of Aishwarya Gnana. And Krishna is saying, this is not pleasing to me. It's not dear to me. It's not that it's wrong. It's not dear to me. It's not dear to me, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. So it shows clearly saying that how important this Ragamarga is, and that is the reason why Krishna has appeared also. Amare Ishwara mane apanake hina tara preme vasha ami nahai adhina. If one regards me as a supreme lord and himself as a subordinate, I do not become subservient to his love, nor can it control me. So this is the pure play dasya. I am the dasa of Krishna. Krishna is saying, it's not that it's not bad, but I do not become subservient to his love. If there is somebody who's, of course, in Vrindavan, also there is dasya. But Krishna is saying, I do not become subservient to his love. So Krishna wants the whole Raga Marga is also that way we can understand it is Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. And because in Dasya, Krishna doesn't become subservient to that love, nor can it control Krishna. So Dasya cannot control Krishna. आमाकेत ये भक्त भजे यही भावे तारे से भावे भजी ये मोर स्वभावे. In whatever transcendental mellow my devotee worships me, I reciprocate with them. That is my natural behavior. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyam, in Bengali. That is my natural behavior. So I'll reciprocate. So if somebody wants to worship me in Aishwarya, I reciprocate. If somebody wants to worship me in Dasya, I reciprocate. But that doesn't, it's not very dear to me. Or it doesn't make me subservient to that love. Or it doesn't control me. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyam mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Same verse. मोर पुत्र मोर सखा मोर प्राणपति ए भावे ए मोरे करे शुद्ध भक्ति आपना के बड़ माने हमारे समहीन से भावे है आमी तोहर अधीन. So Krishna is very, very clearly saying, if one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, friend or beloved, so Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, regarding himself as great, considering me as equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. So if somebody considers Krishna as superior, Krishna is not too pleased with that. Krishna is pleased when somebody thinks, a devotee thinks himself as great, and that Krishna is either equal or even lower, inferior position. Then I become subordinate to him. Huh? And on the while we are doing sadhana bhakti, we are saying Trinadapi Sunichena Tharorapi Saishnana Manina Manadena Kirtanya Sadari. We should think ourselves worthless. And here Krishna is saying, devotee who thinks himself great. Uh, anyway, so here one thing, this is far above Mishra Bhakti, right? That we should understand. It's far above Mishra Bhakti. No karma, no gnana, and no sense gratification. If we want to do that, then we don't even have to worry about this verse. It's not for us at all. Mm. So you look at it, pure devotion, even in uh, pure devotion in Aishwarya will take one to Vaikuntha. Pure devotion in Madhurya, but Dasya still doesn't attract Krishna. Shanta anyway doesn't not considered at all. Dasya also doesn't attract Krishna. Doesn't make him subordinate, subservient. Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. In that mood, the devotee thinks himself great. Father and mother are thinking, oh, I am taking care of Krishna. Friends are thinking, oh, I am equal to Krishna. Mm. And gopis are, in a different mood altogether. Mm. So Krishna is become subordinate to him, to them. And we know how much exalted gopis' love is. That Krishna is saying, I can't even reciprocate. While even at least Sakhya Dasya, I can, Sakhya and Vatsalya, I can at least try to reciprocate. Right? But here I can't do anything. You have to just be pleased by your own service. Mm. So, how exalted. See, Krishna becomes like puny, like small, in front of these rasas. Krishna just is happy to lose his position of the Supreme Person of Godhead. He's not bothered. Mm. He's not attracted by this Aishwarya, this awe and reverence. Neither are Vrajavasis, right? Like after the Ras Lila, then Krishna disappears, then gopis go around looking for Krishna, and they're asking all the, animals, birds, beasts, creepers, plants, trees, everybody, everything they're asking. Have you seen our Krishna? Have you seen our Krishna? Then Krishna wants to have fun with them. So then he suddenly shows up in Chaturpuja, Narayana form. Gopis come, oh, Narayana. They offer obeisances to Narayana and say, and they pray, saying that, please give us our Krishna. Please give us love for our Krishna. That's all, right? Mm. And then Radharani's love is so great that Krishna, who is showing his Chaturpuja form, cannot even remain in Chaturpuja form. Her love is so pure, so much steeped in Madhurya that Narayana cannot exist there. Right? Krishna just cannot hold his form. Just imagine, Krishna becomes helpless, loses his control. The whole world is in his control. He just can't maintain his form. I mean, this is the most exalted, love. The love which controls the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is why this is I mean, nobody talks about this because this tattva is so exalted that it almost looks offensive to Krishna. As in, somebody who doesn't understand this mood, they'll think, oh, what is this? It's almost like offending Krishna. You tell that he's subservient to Radharani. So the people don't talk about Radharani at all because if you talk about Radharani, then oh, Krishna is like Katputli, he's like a doll in her hand. He's ready to kiss her feet. right? So then what happened to God? What happened to God? I mean, we were worshipping God, Supreme Lord, all powerful, all, you know, omniscient, cognizant, all knowing, Atma Rama, self satisfied. Now he's falling at the feet of Radharani. So that is why this, Sakya is still okay. Vatsalya is still okay. Vatsalya Sakya can still be understood. Madhurya is just maybe understandable, but love of Radharani is just beyond anybody's. No mental speculation can help understand this position. Mm. So Krishna is showing how powerful this prema is, pure loving devotion. Krishna becomes subordinate to such devotees. मयि भक्तिर्हि भूतानाम् अमृतत्वाय कल्पते दृष्ट्या यदासीन् महत् स्नेहो भवतीनां मत् आपनः. Devotional service rendered to me by the living beings revives their eternal life. Oh, my dear damsels of Raja, your affection for me is your good fortune. What it is the only means by which you have obtained my favor. Mm. It is your good fortune. Mm. So here during a solar eclipse, Lord came from Dwaraka and met the inhabitants of Vrindavana at Samanta Panchak. And the meeting was intensely painful for the damsels of Rajabhumi because Lord Krishna had apparently left them to reside at Dwarka. But the Lord acknowledged the pure devotional service of the damsels of Raja by speaking the verse. So he's clearly saying, Mai Bhaktir. So he's clearly describing the activities or the relationship between gopis and Krishna. He's saying Mai Bhakti. Uh, Mat Sneha. It's just it's because of your good fortune that you have developed this affection for me. माता मोरे पुत्र भावे करे न बंधन अतिहीन ज्ञाने करे लालन पालन अतिहीन mata more my mother binds putra bhave with love, mm, position of a son, considering me as her son. Karena bandhana binds me. Ati hina, she thinks I'm very utterly helpless. Kare lalana palana. She's nourishing me. She's protecting me. She thinks I'm utterly helpless. Supreme Lord, utterly helpless. Mother is thinking like this. Yashoda Mata, utterly helpless Krishna. Oh, I have to take care of him. I have to feed him. Hmm. And Yashoda Mata is so, worried about Krishna. She's saying, "Oh, Krishna, you will go all day, you will play all the time, and you don't want to eat. You become so thin. You're going to the forest, you're going without chappal." Mm. And then breakfast time, she just, she's so concerned. Krishna, you're not eating at all. Then that is the reason she calls Radharani to do the cooking, and then she's feeding and feeding, saying, "Take this, take that," and she's like, like we take care of guests when they come at home. We try to serve them everything. It's like every day it's the same thing. Every day Yashoda is concerned. Oh, he's utterly helpless. He doesn't know what to do. Then before sending all the boys to Vrindavan for grazing, then she tells all her the Rakshakas, protectors, calls them, tells Balram and all those, please take care of him. He's very playful. Mm, you have to take care of him. So utterly helpless. Krishna cannot do anything by himself. So please take care of him. सखा शुद्ध सखे करे स्कंदे आरोहण तुम्ही कोण बड़ा लोक तुम्ही आम्ही सम. My friends climb on my shoulders in pure friendship. Shuddha Sakya. There is no mixture here. Shuddha Sakya. They climb on my shoulders and say, what kind of a big person are you? Tumi kon bada loka? What, you're like some big man? No, no. Tumi ami sama. You and I are equal. We don't consider you as any big man. You might be son of Nanda Maharaj, but who cares? Huh? We'll climb on your shoulders. We are your equal. So even among friends, actually, there are various in Jaiva Dharma. There's a lot of beautiful description about different types of friends, Narma Sakhas. So there are like even there is gradation of in Bhagavatam says, um, so some who were on whose laps Krishna was sleeping, their position was different from those who were standing and, like for example, fanning him. So like that, and even this actually is very nice. That there are also certain sakhas who know of Krishna's Madhurya rasa details. Of course, everybody has some doubt. And they know, okay, Krishna loves Radharani, and Krishna vanishes here and there, but they don't understand what is going on. They don't understand all the details. But there are some friends who know all the details. They are engaged in planning uh, with Vrinde Devi, Purnamasi. So they know all the details. So like this, there are different gradations of sakhas also. But either way, everybody, I think, I'm equal to you. But see, one thing we have to remember, in spite of all this, all of them, the basis for their behavior. For example, if the sakhas are telling you and I are equal, the basis for the thought process is still servitude. This is the beauty about, Sakhya Vatsalya Madhurya. It's so difficult to understand. It's actually out of that feeling of being, servant of Krishna. Sakha is telling, because I'm servant of Krishna and I need to please Krishna, Krishna will be pleased when I act on this platform of being equal to him. And that is the only reason they are doing this. It's not for sense gratification, it's not out of pride or anything. It's just a mood of servitude saying that, by being equal to Krishna, Krishna becomes pleased. And this is my service to him. Right. So we have to understand that when we talk about these higher rasas, it's not like suddenly that mood is gone of servitude. No, servitude is absolutely there, but it manifests in a more exalted form than just dasya. But dasya is the foundation, is the background in which these rasas are exchanged. It's very important to understand. प्रिया यदि मान करी करे बर्सना वेद स्तुति होइते हरे से मोर मान हरे Priya Yadi Man Kari Man. She's like sulking. She's not happy. Priya, my beloved consort, lover. Lover means people will can't understand. So Prabhupada writes translation, my beloved consort. Uh, if the lover Yadi Mana Kare, reproaches me. Kare Bhatsana means scolding, rebuke. Mm. So if she reproaches me in a sulky mood, not happy, is upset. Veda stuti hoite hare say mora mana. That heals my mind from the reverent hymns of the Vedas. So Vedas, which are actually given by Krishna, uh, they can't attract him or they can't hold his attention when his Priya is in a sulky mood. Mm. So that means that when she goes into a sulky mood, then his mind is completely absorbed in that and he experiences highest ecstasy. So no Veda, no reverent hymns of the Vedas, nothing can attract his attention. It steals my mind. Krishna is saying steals my mind. Just see how the level of uh, helplessness, the height of helplessness. In Madhurya, there is height of helplessness. It steals my mind. Mm. These purports are very nice. Please read whenever you get a chance. हे शुद्ध भक्तलय करिमु अवतार करिब विविध विध अद्भुत विहार वैकुंठाद्ये नाही ये लीलार प्रचार तैसे लीला करिब याते मोर चमत्कार taking these pure devotees with me I shall descend and sport in various wonderful ways unknown even in Vaikuntha. It's unknown even in Vaikunta. In fact, when Gopakumara in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he goes to Vaikunta, then Narada Muni is telling Gopakumara, yeah, I know you want to go to Krishna, you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. And nobody here knows about it. Narada Muni is telling Gopakumara, nobody here knows about Goloka Vrindavana, Vaikunta. Openly, nobody knows. They don't want to know. They are happy with Narayana worship. So it's unknown even in Vaikunta. And Krishna is saying, mm, I shall broadcast such pastimes by which even I am amazed. Mm. Yate mora chamatkara. I only become wonderstruck. I am only amazed by these pastimes. And because Krishna just loses his position, really, as Supreme Lord. So Krishna is also amazed how he is just just loses control completely like a play doll. What an exalted stage. What an exalted state of love. When we hear all this, why, I mean, these verses are some of my favorites, like this fourth chapter is across all our Shastra. Right? These verses are my favorite because actually it then trivializes, we just feel like so worthless, useless. Meaning, we just stuck with useless material attachments and this and that and all that. And here on the other end is like the most exalted, unimaginable position that one can get in the service of Krishna. And we are so fortunate that we have come there. We are there. We are few steps away. And then we are just getting distracted by some worthless aspects of this material world. Who can achieve this? Who can achieve this position? Like I said, even, yeah, Vaikuntha, it's not available. Mm. So these should inspire us to actually shake off all those useless things that are holding us back, right? And then focus and be more enthusiastic. Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. Do bhakti with Utsaha, Nishchaya, Dhairya. Because see, if we don't even achieve, if we don't make progress on the Vaidhi path, we cannot enter Raganuga. And I've explained this multiple times, right? Vaidhi means rules and regulations. Raganuga means externally rules and regulations, internally no rules regulations. Internally, because internally in the mind, there is worship of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan based on the mood, worship in Vrindavan, and for Madhurya, worshipping Radha Krishna in Madhurya in the mind, mental platform, on the mental platform. But externally, it is just Vaidhi Bhakti. No rules are broken. And nobody should even know that the devotee is actually practicing Raganuga Bhakti except his guru. Right, so the Vaidhi Bhakti practice will continue to go on, right? So Raganuga Bhakti doesn't mean that we start bending rules on the Vaidhi platform. We can't. We're not supposed to because that's not acceptable. So when we follow these rules and regulations as prescribed, even if we make progress, it's not like we make progress. Okay, some of these things we start experiencing, etc. And then I'm above all this. No. Mm. But we need to get here. We need to get to this Raganuga, right? And all that simply automatically happens by strictly following the process given to us. If we strictly follow the process, automatically we'll come to Raganuga. We don't have to do anything else. We don't have to do any extraneous stuff. We don't have to do any Sahajiya stuff. We just have to simply follow this. That's all. And we will reach there. It's so amazing. I mean, these verses we should think from Krishna's position. How he's glorifying this bhakti. This Sakhya Vatsalya Madhurya is glorifying their position. Mo Vishaye Gopi Ganera Upapati Bhave Yoga Maya Kari Beka Apane Prabhave Apana Prabhave. This is another like super deep tattva. I discussed this, I think, 2 years back on Radhastami. The influence of Yoga Maya will inspire the gopis with the sentiment that I am their paramour. It is Upapati Bhava. It's not Upapati. Upapati means paramour. right? So what is paramour? So a lady is married to a man. He is her pati. And when has a relationship with somebody who is not her pati, he is called upapati. Uh, so outside marital bond, this is upapati. So upapati is the lowest on the material platform, and it is the highest on the spiritual platform, because it's not actual upapati, it's upapati bhava. We should understand this. This is upapati bhava. It's a sentiment. Uh, it's what is that word? Mm, Abhimana. It's called Abhimana. In Jaiva Dharma, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls this Abhimana, this sentiment, this bhava. It's called Abhimana. Meaning, it's just that in their mind, Yogamaya is making the gopis, inspiring the gopis to think that they're married to somebody else. This is on in Goloka Vrindavana. And what happens when Krishna appears here in the material world? That same Upapati Bhava, that Abhimana manifests as a personifies, right? Becomes personified, meaning takes up a form of a person. That Upapati Bhava takes on the form of a person who is then considered as that Gopi's husband. But that Gopi's husband is nothing but the Gopi's Upapati Bhava, Abhimana, in Goloka, now just manifested as a person. And she got married to him. So it's all Yoga Maya. It's just magic. It's just inconceivable direction of Krishna's pastimes. And to what is the whole intention is to create that, strongest feeling of love and separation. Mm, Love and separation. Mm, mm, Love in meeting and love in separation. This to to create that the most strongest intensity. This Upapati Bhava it's done by Yogamaya. She inspires the gopis to experience this sentiment. And by that they feel, oh, Krishna is a paramour. Krishna is my paramour. Krishna is not my husband. Krishna is actually my paramour because I'm married to somebody else. Mm. So this till here, in Madhva Sampradaya also they'll come. The other Sampradayas also they can talk about Sakya, Vatsalya. They can't talk about Madhurya. They can't talk about these things because for them it's like very it's just non-Vedic. Right? This is not how we talk. You can't even talk about these things in a class, right? I mean, like if you're in a gathering and you talk about Upapati and all that, people like, what is this? I mean, Dharma Samsthapanarthaya, Dharma. We are here to uphold Dharma, and you're talking about Adharma. But that's why our acharyas actually reveal. But actually, in Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami actually becomes angry. Parikshit Maharaj 2 times he asked. Saying how Krishna how Krishna can do this? Uh, how Krishna is a uplifter of dharma? How can he do this? He becomes angry. Sukadeva Goswami. And and he says like, all these big personalities, very powerful personalities, they can do whatever they want. Don't question. Whatever they do is right. Actually, he's angry at Parikshit, saying, "Oh, I already explained this. Why are you asking me again? They can do whatever they want." He doesn't actually give the underlying internal reason, because then it would become public information, no? Anybody and everybody will get access to what is the actual secret behind this Raga Bhakti in Vrindavan, Madhurya Rasa in Vrindavan. So it's top secret. This one line, you can say is the top, one of the top secrets. Hmm. Yeah, Ravini Mata, just 2 minutes. I'll just finish this. Right. So we should understand, right, that it's very, very, very exalted. I just maybe 2 3 more verses. आमिह न जानी तथा तत् ताहा न जाने गोपी गण तुम्हारा रूप गुणे तुम्हारा nitya hare mana. Krishna is saying, but neither of them actually notice. Neither do gopis notice this, that they have developed the bhava of Upapati, nor do I. I also don't notice that like this, all this is there, that other people that they are married, and I mean, so they're above whatever is happening around them. Both Krishna and gopis are lost, as in they just they don't think about, oh, okay, gopis are not thinking, oh, I'm married to some, just like they don't notice it at all. Krishna also doesn't notice these things. Why? Because our minds will always be entranced. They're on in trance by one another's beauty and qualities. This also requires so much explanation. Actually, there is sufficient explanation here. We'll read. Right, so I'll stop here, I think. One second, let me just see what is the next verse. Yeah, we'll continue this again. Nice to start the conversation again in the same mood. Okay, I'll stop here. Yeah, yeah, Rohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Mataji.
So somewhere, like, I heard or I read somewhere, Krishna, proves that all of the gopis who are there with the husbands, they are the shadows of the actual gopis. Was it true? Was it given in Bhagavatam?
Not shadows, actually.
Or
No,
expansions? I don't know.
not in Bhagavatam. Not in Bhagavatam. So actually, they're not shadows. What happens is, yeah, I mean, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur talks about this. There are the marriage that happens. The marriage that happens actually happens with the Chaya Gopis.
Okay.
Like Chaya Sita, right? Like it's yeah, they are shadows who are married to the husbands. Mm. But all this is Yoga Maya. So I mean, even if you don't understand these technicalities, it's
Right.
like, for example, when gopis are walking out in the middle of the night, when Krishna plays his flute, the
Right.
Chaya gopis remain
Okay.
at home. So basically, husbands are thinking, they are there. No,
Right.
Shukadev Goswami he is not very explicitly. I mean, in some verses, he just hints to towards these things, and our acharyas actually in purports they reveal this. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that actually of course here also there are two categories. There is very deep tattva, right? Like there are some who are married. There
Right.
are others who are not married. So of those who are married, the Taya gopis remain, and then the Nitya, the eternal Sakhis or the actual Sakhis actually go. They go to the forest. Mm. Yeah, so this has lot of rasa. That's why I said, like, when we come, hopefully, we'll finish all our other preparatory discussions of Bhagavatam, and then we'll come to 10th canto, and then we can discuss some of these. Mm, extremely, it's so, yeah, I mean, sometimes it just like we can't believe it. We just say, okay, it sounds like somebody is just making up some explanation. It's very, very difficult to understand. But, actually, our acharyas have very nicely explained the situation. So many details are there. Somewhere in Bhagavatam, in a connection to this gopis going out in the middle of the night, says that one verse says that somebody gave up their life. Then our Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, no, you can't give up because it's inauspicious. So nobody gave up their life. It's just that they gave up their material consciousness, meaning, so these were the gopis who had come, who were uh, the gopis who had just achieved perfection, the Shruti charis and the Muni chari gopis who had achieved perfection. So even when they had come to Bhauma Lila for the first time, and then they had to, there is still some contamination. So when they were not allowed to go to meet Krishna, then in the fire of that separation, all their anarthas got destroyed. So they gave up their material consciousness completely, meaning they became 100% pure. So like this, so there are tons of you know details, tons of details. So That is why this is, it's just amazing pastimes.
Right. Prabhu, I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
So, the shadow or like Chaya expansions of the gopis are like Sita Mai. So, do they have the same feelings of the actual person? Because when Sita Mata is in Ashokavan, she was crying and she was waiting for
Yeah, yeah. So
Rama, right? So,
Chaya is a shadow. See, understand shadow and reflection. There are two things in Shastra, right? Generally, and there are various things like there is bhakti, abhasa, there's Chaya and there's pratibimba. Uh, Reflection is
oh,
not connected to the actual object. Chaya is always connected
okay.
to the actual object, right? So
Oh,
Chaya
okay.
manifests exactly the same qualities as the original object in general.
So, what is the difference, Prabhu? Chaya reflections, so
Chaya is a
different things.
shadow,
Okay, shadow and the
and
reflection is on
pratibimba
the
is a
water, like a
reflection. Yeah.
pratibamba. Right. One is
The
that same, one is
pratibimba
this.
will move as per the water. For example, the reflection will move. But
Right,
here, chaya is very strongly connected at the base, right? Where does the chaya come from?
right,
From like the
right.
legs, right? So
Yeah,
it's
right.
deeply rooted with the original object. So
Got it, bro.
all feelings, everything. I mean, it's like just, yeah, like a shadow. Yeah,
Got
it's
it,
all
Prabhu.
like,
Thank you.
yeah,
Hare
yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, any other questions? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam.
Dandavat Mataji.
Prabhuji, with all due respect, I mean, if I don't know if I've understood it properly, is that while explaining, you had, like it was said, na, like Krishna is only pleased when somebody thinks of him at a lower level, like his friends,
Yeah,
Yashoda Mai,
yeah,
and all.
yeah,
That they're all exalted devotees, no Prabhu. Like
yeah.
today, if we come into that mood, we'll make more. Commit more offenses and in actually thinking, yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about myself. Like if I don't keep Krishna in that awe and respect,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll become too casual about
Correct, correct,
things.
correct, correct, correct,
You
correct.
know,
Not not
I'm
only you, everybody. Yeah, all of
no,
us.
no, no, because I have to place him, whether he's
Correct.
happy or not happy. And one more thing I wanted to ask, Prabhu.
Yeah,
I've come back from Vrindavan. I should
yeah.
have been in a more spiritual mode. Why is
Hmm.
it even chanting is becoming a little difficult? Like, I mean, it's not, I don't know if I'm Prada, because I was
No,
with
no,
the
no.
group
That
when,
chanting is not okay for you because you're not well. That's all. Simple.
I don't
When
want to
your
hear
body,
classes. I don't want to hear classes. I don't want to, like it's flittering away.
no,
Okay.
nothing like that.
Okay.
Your body is not okay, so you're just feeling a little bit. You'll be back in form soon,
Okay.
right? First question is important. Mataji's question is very, very important, right? See, actually, that is why this Raganuga Bhakti is not something that has to be artificially developed. Vaidhi Bhakti, we have to do Vaidhi Bhakti very, very strictly till we come to a stage where these feelings will automatically arise. So we should not misunderstand this as artificial. It's not artificial. It's not like I'm just simply like tattva. Okay, I heard today that Krishna is attracted by somebody else, considering him inferior. So I'm going to start considering him inferior. No, this is sahajiya. That's why I said, we should not become sahajiyas. This feeling actually naturally arises in us. Okay, but that is at a very, very exalted stage of bhakti. It's far, 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 far from us right now, right? But we should understand that this is what pleases Krishna, right? And then what it means that, oh, it seems very difficult to achieve. Yes, absolutely. Which means what? We need to slog, we need to put effort, right? But this is what pleases Krishna. This is what pleases Krishna. So how do we, let me explain it a little bit more, right? Not that I understand it completely, but to whatever extent I understand, I am explaining. See, when we do this, again, I mean, this comes back to our Shravanam, right? Um, so how does this process work? So Vaidhi Bhakti, we are doing Shravanam Kirtanam, right? We're doing chanting Hare Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna is supposed to be purifying our material propensities, our material attachments, and purifying us, so that then we become free from the material platform, Brahma Bhuta, right? And then we make progress, Nishtha, Sakti, etc. Somewhere down the line, as we do our Shravanam of Krishna's pastimes of all these different rasas, naturally we will start developing a very deep attachment to a particular rasa, right? Um, and when we develop the deep attachment to that rasa, we start trying to, we start putting our efforts in trying to hear more about that rasa. For example, if somebody is attracted by vatsalya, then they are going to start trying to hear more and more vatsalya. Hmm. Or wherever Vatsalya comes across, they're like jumping, in their heart. They just like, deep. It's not just like, for example, it's not like, oh, because I've been a mother, I've experienced these things, so this thing appeals to me. No, not that kind of correlated, uh, attraction. It's just bizarre. It's insane. No logic can convince you. Or, when somebody says, no, 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 you know what, Madhurya is the greatest, you'll say, no. Madhurya is not greatest, Sakya is greatest, or Vatsalya is greatest, right? That kind of a deep attraction, and you will start appreciating so many aspects about those Leelas which other devotees will not, right? Then what happens? Then you are like, we are then at that stage entering into that raga, somewhere near there. Of course, before that, we should understand that I should have crossed Brahmabhuta. Huh? What is crossing Brahmabhuta means? Crossing Brahmabhuta, actually, see, today in our conditioned stage, we are praying to Krishna, thinking Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Krishna, protect my body. Krishna, protect this. Give me that. Give me this. So we are not even Brahmabhuta. Once we cross Brahmabhuta, yeah. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Sorry, some courier guy came. Yeah. So I was saying, when after we reach Brahmabhuta, actually we stop asking Krishna for anything, right? So which means then slowly this Krishna is a supreme controller kind of, starts going to the in the back of our mind, because today we are, in this asking mood, depending on Krishna, give me this, give me that. Then we'll stop asking. Mm. Right. So naturally that supreme controller is there, but it goes in the back end, right? Into the background. And then when we start hearing, when we start getting these, and then we start hearing about, oh, I'm attracted by Vatsalya. Okay, let me read. Yeah, okay, Damodar Lila I read. Oh, Krishna is like being bound by Yashoda. No, we will not be using any logic here, right? We are just simply adoring the position of Yashoda Mai. And just we just are so deeply attracted by that motherly position of motherly love towards Krishna. And that goes on increasing. Everything we hear, we are like, we feel like, yeah, I'm there, and I would love to have this kind of exchange with Krishna. Or beat Saka, yeah, and we hear that, okay, they're playing games, and somebody's stealing a lunchbox and throwing into other. Now when we feel all this, we feel, okay, I also want to be there, and I want to do this. And then when this Shravanam, when this attraction for this particular rasa increases, we are like eager. We're just like, we're just trying hard to hear what more, where, how else, what else happens. We are very enthusiastically, we are trying to understand the rasa deeper and deeper and deeper. Mm. And then when we go so deep, now where is the discussion about Krishna, Supreme Person of Godhead, when we are talking about Sakhya or Vatsalya, right? So obviously those topics only go off our head. So just imagine how far we would have moved from thinking about Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, that it becomes natural. Because if I'm thinking about, okay, I want to play football with Krishna with bale fruit. That's what they used to play football there. Now, where is the question of Supreme Lord? There's no question of Krishna being the Supreme Lord. I want to play football with Krishna. That's all. Right? So it's naturally we move far away from this Krishna is supreme controller, Krishna is, maintainer, Krishna is, so these topics go far, 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 far away. Right? And in that mood, so that's why I'm saying it's a very, very exalted state. It's not something that we are just today hearing all this, right? But to get there, so we have to make significant progress. And when we make significant progress, then we are not going to offend Krishna, because externally we are still doing Vaidhi Bhakti, but internally our mood is that of, say, a Sakha or a parent. We love Krishna. When you love Krishna, there's no question of offense, right? But externally, we are not. It's not like we are, yeah, like going onto the altar and making Krishna sleep on our laps, right? Externally, we are just obviously respecting, etiquette, environment, everything, right? So, but internally, mm, that mood is there. So that's why it's a very difficult topic. It's a very difficult topic. See, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not come to give us this mercy of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we couldn't have understood or imagined any of this. Because it's only by this process that we can actually reach these stages. Right? That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanyaya. So yeah, right now we can understand, or we should just maybe we can accept that, okay, it's a very exalted thing. I'm not there, but I want to get there. Right? And continue our Vaidhi Bhakti. This is my understanding. I'm speaking like some self-realized soul.
Prabhuji, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You're talking. What you're saying is understood. I know what I understand is like you have to be like a possessed person to be
Yeah.
in love with
Correct.
Krishna, or
Hmm.
like somebody drugged. So you don't
Yes.
even realize whether you're making a mistake, you're not making a mistake at all. Now, what about
No,
Hanumanji?
no. One second. Let me just correct that last. It's drugged, but externally it is undrugged. Internally
Okay.
drugged, right? That is
You
very, very
you ha- you,
important.
ta- you have to keep both. You have to keep both
Yeah,
the
yeah,
both
yeah,
the boards.
yeah. Yes.
You cannot say you're a madman and be in love and
Yeah,
still, but you still have to be sane.
yeah.
How's
Because
that?
otherwise we'll
How
become
how's that,
Sahajias.
how's that possible?
Yeah, that is why I say like it's a very exalted state, right? It's an exalted state. Now when we see all these great devotees, do we think that they are not in raga? I mean, I'm
No,
sure like there are multiple
yes,
devotees
yes,
in ISKCON who are
yes,
in
yes,
raga, but we
yes.
can't make out, right? They're
Right.
simply what
Okay.
happens externally, they'll just become humble. They will withdraw maybe from various activities, etc., and they're just chanting on their beads, and nobody knows.
What's
Nobody
going on?
knows, right?
Right.
So externally they'll come here, they'll stand in front of the Lord, they will offer obeisances, but
बोलते
internally
क्लास में हो 5 मिनट कर.
it's like it's a different mood, right? So anyway, for us it's if
But what
we,
what about Hanumanji?
yeah. What about Hanumanji?
Like he taught, because there he knew his complete. Oh, see the gopis and
Dasya,
they
Dasya.
did it. Yeah,
No, Hanumanji
fine.
was in Dasya. Huh?
No, fine, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
But see, over there, the coward boys, all these, they did not know that Krishna is the supreme. So they can
yeah.
they could be over topsy turvy. They could Maheshwara could
Correct,
beat them. Yes,
correct.
but Hanumanji being in Dasya, and with due respect, the Krishna is not. Says you only have to be a human being. Being a beast,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
knew that it is the supreme. So he never made those mistakes of going and saying, "Oh, like he's beyond."
No,
Like
it's not about mistake, Mataji. It's
no, no, like
actually
no, yeah, going beyond and saying like is the supreme. I'm so close to him, I can do anything. Like
no, but he
it.
doesn't want it. See, this is why this constitutional position concept has to be very clearly
Uh-huh,
understood, right?
okay.
See, it's not something that we are going to artificially develop. It's not something that we're going to artificially develop, right? If we are there, if we were there, that mood will come back, right? Now that mood will come back. Now, Hanumanji doesn't want anything beyond just Dasya for Rama. He's not bothered. He's not interested. He is like, I'm not interested in all this. You go and hear. I mean, even if he hears, he'll say, yeah, I know, Krishna is very great, but my Rama is great,
Yes. And
right?
what
So,
about Uddhav? What about Uddhav?
yeah, same thing. See, it's a common answer to all of these eternal associates of the Lord are
Huh,
fixed in a certain mood,
huh,
right? Yeah, Uddhava, when he's saying that I want to become a clump of grass, he's saying because I want Gopi's mercy because
huh.
Gopis are so great. I can't get to the Gopis position. I can't get there, but I want their mercy, right? So none of the devotees' eternal position they are wanting to change that, but they glorify the others' positions so that other devotees can understand the mood on an absolute, or in a comparative mode. Like Uddhava himself is glorifying the position of Gopi. So how exalted Gopi's position is, right? But because Uddhava is in Dwaraka, You know, the mood is very, very different. It's Aishwarya mixed with Sakya. So, and he doesn't want to, I mean, he's happy in that position. He doesn't want to budge from that position, right? But he
But
knows.
that, yeah,
He
he
knows.
knows he's the supreme. So that's the difference also, na
Yeah,
Prabhu.
Dwaraka, because Dwaraka is Aishwarya mixed. Because he's from Dwarka.
So the same thing is with us, na Prabhu. Like we know he's the supreme.
We
So
are,
to come
no,
out,
we are, it's
no,
not the
no,
same thing
we
with
know
us.
Krishna is the supreme. So to get out of that awe and aversion and to progress from there is so difficult for
No, it will
for me.
come. So that's why I'm saying we should not try to think about this. It's a piece of
Family.
knowledge, right?
Okay.
It's a piece of knowledge that we have acquired, and so be it. That's it, right? Let us make progress on Vaidhi, right? Then all these things will happen automatically. It's not like we have to. See, in bhakti, that is why there is nothing which is going to be enforced on us or like thrust on us. It's all going to be natural, and it has to happen naturally. And that is why it is not sahajiya. It's not artificially trying to be something else, right? And when those situations come, when we reach our constitutional position, automatically we will know that. We don't have to worry. Just that's why Prabhupada didn't talk about all this. Just say chant Hare Krishna. Okay, I think we'll
Yes,
stop. It's
Prabhu.
already 9:30.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, Prabhuji.
See,
Hare Krishna. That was Prabhu.
it's important. Yeah, thank you. Sri Chaitanya
Krishna to
Charitamrita
everybody.
ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.